Hey, what's up, fam? So, it's been a long journey, coming from freshman year to fifth year senior, and I just want to give a little bit of an overview of what it's like because I didn't come into college knowing that I was going to become a American Ethnic Studies major. I came in as a young guy who enjoyed hip hop music, and I had a mom who was married to a soldier, so I got this military discount, and it made me curious about what the military was. So I joined ROTC for 2 years. I was pretty successful. I received a scholarship through ROTC, and it was based upon work ethic. Um, so that was a pretty cool experience, and I was able to learn a lot about teamwork, and I also figured out that my heart wasn't really um, ready for the type of lifestyle that militarism has, and by that I mean no matter what your profession is within the military, you know once you sign that line that you are going to engage in violence of some sort. And everything that I've learned after leaving ROTC, going through a social work and American ethnic studies double major phase when I was getting all this information about how I could help people, but how can I be critical? How could I really contribute to a community? It really broadened my horizon about what it would mean if I were to join the military. So when I started to get a grasp for American ethnic studies, first as a minor, I realized that everything that we do as people is very interpersonal. We are interdependent on one another. So interdependence, it is this reality where we all have to work together. We all have to function, and in order to function, you have to understand how people function. You have to know where they function. You have to know the histories of a group of people. And I've taken a lot of classes about oppression. I've taken a lot of classes about uh, justice, and if I were to get specific, Asian American perspectives. I've taken comparative ethnics. I've taken politics of women of color, hip hop as resistance. I've taken all kinds of classes at once. And when you get all this information at one time about how people suffer in different ways, you start to become extremely aware of how much you really suffer internally. Anytime you are subject to a stereotype associated with your pigmentation, with the way you speak, with how you act, um, you become a victim, at first, a victim to the labels that people try to associate you with. And what I've been able to accomplish over these years is to move beyond that victimization mind state where I feel that I need to be given certain privileges to succeed within higher education, to now I'm going to go to Colorado. I'm going to go home with a career in mind. I'm going to grad school. I'm going to get my master's of fine arts in creative writing at a school that is doing um, things that aren't even they're not even processed in a lot of the U.S. And none of my experiences, none of my positives would be happening if I didn't have a strong foundation, and that foundation started when I learned about people in American ethnic studies, about gender, about sexuality, and how my personality relates to other people. And I also have a very firm understanding that I don't want to live with a 40-hour work week. I know the lifestyle of an activist is not a 40-hour work week, it's a lifetime commitment. So no matter what, I know I have to put myself in positions where I have free time, but that free time isn't necessarily free because I know that one day I'm going to pass. So the time that I'm given, I need to maximize it to making sure the generations after me, they have a strong foundation. You know, my grandkids, my great grandkids, I want them to know who I am. I don't want them to think that their father was never around, because we've been introduced to so many stereotypes about absent fathers, and that's not going to be in my family whatsoever. I'm ending that. So that's going to be my legacy to my family, my friends, anybody who I work with. You know, we're gonna be a constant working unit, always building toward the future.